Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. For the last 1 week, I've not been able to produce any video in our Nairobi studio. Yes, because I spent a whole week in Kilifi. We had a good mission. We were able really to reach out to the elderly. That program is Granny Care. So that will be the flagship project and the charity program of the bold. So we may not really come in the other emergencies, maybe once a while, but on us, we just want to do Granny Care. Granny Care is targeting the old. So we've done Kilifi, it was a big success. We are building 4 houses, 2 are in progress because then after that, the other 2 will be constructed, courtesy of our exclusive sponsorship by one of us that has come up to support 4. We're able to repair the others, buy them the mattresses and the food stuff. So I will give you a snippet of that towards the end of this video. But for now, I want us to look at a matter that is very critical. And I want to start by saying that this gentleman here, John Mbadi, must read the mood in the house. The precedence that is being set in Treasury is very shocking and devastating. If John Mbadi, and I've been saying, and I will keep on repeating this, if John Mbadi is to make remarkable progress and stamp his authority in that ministry, then he must fish out the Treasury cartels. The Treasury cartels is a bloody group. In fact, it's a ring within the Treasury. And if he doesn't act, or if he acts like his predecessors, then he's not going to make any change. And the reason why I am calling on Mbadi to act and demand accountability is this. Just the same way he would call a press briefing to defend Ruto tax policies, the Treasury should come out of that office, speak in the floor of the Treasury, and demand for the police to investigate and give the country a report about the mysterious disappearance and death of a Treasury official, a staffer under his ministry. I want you to listen to this story pole pole so that you can also make your judgment on what exactly is here. Evans Churchill was working in Treasury, and Evans Churchill was a big denominator in a tender that was to be awarded worth 286 million. A 286 million worth tender in Treasury is not a kind of a tender that can be floated and can be there, and the minister does not know. In fact, even the president can know that there is such a tender in the ministry, in the Treasury. Even the president can know. So Evans Churchill told his brothers and his close friends the kind of pressure he was going through in the nature of work, rather in his nature of work. It is even reported that he faced life threats, which raised questions as to whether really his life was in danger. And from what he's saying, the tendering process in Treasury. So on Friday, he went missing. But allegedly, his colleagues from Treasury are saying that he traveled to Machakos. He went to Machakos to meet with some friends, some associates. And so he was on Machakos. He traveled to Machakos on Friday. And he was supposed to meet them probably Friday afternoon. So this is what his colleagues from the Treasury are actually reporting. So he didn't go back to his house on Friday evening. The whole weekend, the family were moving from one police station to the other, and even the hospitals and mortuaries over the weekend, and they were not able to trace where Chirchir was. So they didn't find the whereabouts of Chirchir the whole weekend. So they decided to lodge a case, rather asking the court to request they decided to sue the Inspector General of Police over the disappearance of their kin so that it could be produced in court after searching the whole weekend. But you look at how the family searched like that weekend, hawakujua where he was. Then the lawyers revealed that there were friends who wanted to meet him in Machakos, and that's why he was in Machakos. And it believed that Machakos meeting could have been linked, could be work-related, because Friday should actually at work. Now, on Tuesday, when the lawyers were in court seeking orders from Justice Lawrence Mugambi over the matter, the family came and told the lawyers, told the court, that the body had been retrieved, or rather had been found, in Machakos Level 5 hospital with head injuries. But a narrative, or rather an angle, a theory has been crafted. And even if you look at the headlines, if you look at the headline of the stories I was just showing you, it has been crafted to show you that the death of Evans could have been linked, could be work related. So as a country, we must really think about this. There are questions on when the family was searching. They even searched that hospital. But now the body has been taken there, and it's not yet clear. The person who took Evans' body to Machakos Level 5 hospital is not yet identified. Could have been invented as a good Samaritan. So the nature of death is very devastating. And that is why I'm saying, if you look at the reports and what the family are saying is work-related, just few months after Mbadi took over Treasury, if this is the kind of stories that should come, kind of incidences that is coming from there, then this should be very terrifying. The moment we make government officials, government offices, they tend to be areas where if you venture, it leads to, it doesn't really look good for us as a country. And such were really witnessed. Have been witnessed. There have been a number of disappearances. And the reason why Mbadi must come out boldly and demand answers is because when it is activists disappearing, the country is meant to believe we are fighting terrorism, or these are people that want to overthrow government, this and that, and so for them, they deserve it. But you again come to realize that the country is slowly normalizing an act that is not really friendly for the country. I don't know why you need to take someone's life because of this. But again, the other reason, other perspective is the issue of work related. The country might not be able, the more he keeps quiet, this is going to catch up with him. But Mr. Mbadi, while you were in Treasury, this and this happened, but you never had your voice. I strongly feel that Mbadi must come out clearly and ask the police. In fact, he should place a call to IJ. Call a press briefing and say this and this, so that this is the act. You know, these things have been happening in the past, but then let me tell you, they've been happening in the past, but they normally get covered up. So if you want to crush cartels, if there is a narrative and a speculation that the death of the staffer from Treasury could be coming from within, then the best or the right thing to do, you must send the right signal. And the right signal is you're not going to condone that. That is, but if you choose to sit back and look as the things unfold, then you're going to be a captive of that cartel. So there are 4 reasons why Mbadi should be very terrified about such a story. This disappearance and death. It should really terrify Mbadi. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell and like our videos. And thank you very much for all of us who supported Kilifi Elderly Mission last week. The last 5 days of October. I'm so glad that were quite a number. The need, I've never gone to Kilifi, but I just realized that this country, there is a lot to be fixed. Kilifi is very huge, but the level of poverty there is shaking. So, yeah, we did our part. I believe that there's those of us who are still reaching out saying you can, now Granny K is an ongoing problem. Yeah, it's an ongoing program. So if you want to support, we're doing shelter as really the part we're really looking into. The structures and then the mattresses and all that. So that's what we're doing in Kilifi. We'll do next on 20th of October. Yes, 20th of October, yes. We'll do 20th of October. That's when we'll be doing the next project. Another county. So we still have a long way, month and plus to go. And you'll choose your county. The network, we use the network within. Lazima kama mtu anafanya kitu. So if you take us there, already where you are doing, we will just support. You can map out the old, wale wenye wanyewezi, and without support system, we'll be able to support. 20th of October is the next mission. But for now, Granica is continuing. Kama unataka kusupport Kilifi, inaendelea, already nyumba zinajengwa, you can still support on that end. Now, there is a dark ring of abductors deep rooted in government. And that ring is working with Treasury. The reason why Mbadi should get worried is this. If this gentleman, his death is related to work, and that his abductors traced him out of city to Nairobi to Machakos, and it was done, that is a ring. Now, such cannot be done by just a colleague. That has to be done by a ring of abductors. And the way they get away with it is a well-choreographed system. So it might start with that CS. The next time, they might come for you. They might come for someone really dear to you. This is already a terrible, this is a signal they are sending that you toe the line. You don't toe the line, we're in for you. And that is why I demand Mbadi must come out. This abduction, and that this violation and extra legal activities have no boundaries. They have no limit. These people are shameless. They have no limit. They can do anything to anyone. The other thing, the bloody tender wars within Treasury will resist attempt to change anything. John Mbadi was appearing before, I think that was before the MP said they will want to automate procurement. There are some very good suggestions in making there proposals is making there on how to make changes or how to effect some changes in Treasury. But if this is a tendering process, if the tender wars are leading to nearly causing the death of the staff in Treasury, what does that show you? These people will stop at nothing to ensure that they get their way. Somebody must act. The mysterious man, the puzzle of the man from his office, just appearing that way, should not be taken lightly from the ministry. And especially a critical personnel in the tendering docket is not something that should be taken lightly. I may not be getting it, but on this one, they have to Mbadi must put the best foot forward. Because this was the bloody tender wars. It's clearly that. Treasury is a crime scene. Toxic crime scene. So must be out to fight them. If you don't fight them, they'll crush you. That is also something that Mbadi must do. And again, I'm a bit worried. Yes, many people have been asking, how did Ruto hand over Treasury to Mbadi? Because people are saying, this time, the incumbents would want to use the state resources to campaign with. And that's why they will always want to have Treasury, someone they really, really trust. Someone, because watamwambia toa pesa tunaenda campaign, people who will always play to the game. And if someone can be killed, and that death is related to such tenders, then it means if this is a well-coordinated ring, then the Treasury could be the hardware, but it could be having the hardware, but the software is somewhere else. The software is not within that Treasury building. The software for the docket is somewhere else. And so when the hardware cannot behave to the liking of the software engineers behind the scene, then they have to be eliminated. So these debts need to be really interrogated, because if we have a compromised system, then really people will fear and will end up with a failed state. Thank you, guys. This is a snippet of Kilifi.
American scholar Martin Luther King Jr. said, "This country will not be a good place for any of us to live in unless we make it a good place for all of us to live in." Between 24th and 30th August, Bold Charity Network pitched tent in Magarini constituency, Gongoni, a semi-arid village in north of Kilifi. This is the north part of the coast. Combing through the villages coordinated by the village coordinators, we were able to pick 15 elderly men and women beyond 80 years living in deplorable conditions. Our intervention, after assessing the need, was based on reconstructing the makeshift shelters, issuing mattresses and food donations. Here, I met a 75-year-old Changawa Mwembego, a widowed granny, and she paints out a picture of the house.
Ukiangalia pale juu, unaweza dhani ni kama mtu haishi. So this is how it looks like. Number one, this one doesn't even have the door. This is my entrance. Hii ni vile unaingia. When you get, this is the space you get into. Then this is where she is. Now this is inside. Ndio huyu ako hapa, and she'll be telling you now. This one is very, very challenging. Look at the roof. So ukiwa ndani, what I was showing from outside, this is it. Benson, hebu kuja. Mama ulisema unalala wapi?
Nalala hapa chini.
Sasa hii mabati
iliwekwa kwa sababu kama kuna nyesha wasinyeshewe.
Hii mabati iliwekwa.
Hii mabati iliwekwa kama amelala hapa chini, mvua inanyesha asinyeshewe.
Na sasa kupika hapa. Mama hapa chini hapa. Unalala hapa?
Nalala hote.
Hamna malazi, hamna kitanda, hamna chochote?
Sina chochote.
Now guys, this one is one that really blew my mind. This is one of the 4 houses we are going to build. So this will have to bring down and put up a new, brand new structure.
Mwambigu's house is amongst the 4 new houses we are building afresh in Kilifi. After assessing this region, we realized that one of the need that the elderly, or rather the grannies, need in this space is a decent house. Mzee Kavumbi Luganje is patiently waiting for us on the door. Seated next to him is the wife, and the grandchildren are all milling around him. The 91-year-old Kavumbi, we are told, lost his sight after a short illness in 2023, something that changed his life completely. Even though he cannot recognize the visitors in the compound, but he can listen and hear what we are saying. Here, we get to understand the real situation as we try to unravel the demand and the need.
Ndio naweza yote. Naomba Baba uzidishie kutuletea baraka kama hizi. Naomba na kuamini.
Amen. Mzee, sasa sisi tunasema asante sana kwa kutukaribisha. Na wewe sasa pia upate kula na pia uweze kulala.
Unipatia
godoro.
Ewe Mulungu wangu, nakuvoya macho kwa hubu yako. Na sina na tabu mimi na napata asaidizi na mananisaidia na shukuru, na mimi naombea na uzima. Mimi ni mtu nijeni wa Mulungu kwa vile chenye vivi derewa godoro na chakula nasiki.
Amen.
In Kavumbi's need, we were able to erect the door, put the door in the house, repaired the broken walls, and through your support, we purchased him godoro, that is a Swahili word for mattress, foodstuff for the household, and he is amongst the 15 grannies, the elderly members of this community that benefited from this program.